Welcome, my friends, to the show that never ends. We've got three things this week. First, we got our beer that I told you to go and buy. Second is we've got the beer I'm going to show you for next week. Josh suggested a Marlow Brewery. Well, I've tried this one at a pub at the Chiltern Taps, but I've also you can buy it from Marlow Brewery itself, but I also managed to find this one in the Spar in Holmer Green. Now, this one is Rebellion 24 Carat. This is a 5% job. It's a fairly light golden hoppy beer, which we'll try next week. But give that one a go. You go and buy yours. Buy it from, as I say, the Spar in Holmer Green, or from the Marlow Brewery itself. That's first. Second is we've got the game from last night. Wycombe beating Leyton, Orient, in fact. But also, and last but not least, we're going to discuss the 3-0 loss the other day, last Saturday, when I wasn't there. We lost to Lincoln 3-0 away. But I wanted to discuss something around that, which is the duel that Wycombe win or don't win. Who wins? We all jump up and down about, get in there, show a bit of this, show a bit of that. And we've got this idea that if you win all your duels, all your fights on the pitch, then you win the game. But does the data back that up? And I will spend probably 1 minute on that and tell you whether that's true or not. Okay, first of all, let's pour ourselves a beer, and we will bring up and discuss last night, because I managed to actually get to a game. Look at that. Oh, did you buy one yourself? That's the question. Did you buy this yourself? Okay, we'll just let that one settle. And last night we won. Flip me. God, did Wycombe need me back. 3-2 it was. Strange game. It was a strange game. I spent the whole time thinking we don't deserve to win this game. They are the far better team. But who cares? In the end, who cares who is the better team? Isn't that sort of like an Oxford job, Oh, we're the far better team. We played them off the pitch, but we lost. In the end, the better team, can they ever lose? That is the question. When I came out of the ground last night and bumped into Paul straight away, and he really enjoyed the game. He'd really enjoyed the game. And I felt, did we deserve to win? Come to my senses, and he was dead right. It was a good game to watch, and we deserved to win, because the winning team deserves to win. Because even if you're not as good at football as the other team, you still have got to be good at something to beat them. The fact is, they've not lost 3 games on the trot because they're a good football team, Leyton Orient. They've lost 3 games on the trot because they can't win. They don't know how to beat teams such as Wycombe when they should. They have the talent to do it, but in fact, I can only think of one great save our goalkeeper made. So let's look at the players from last night. I do have opinions on the players. Of course I do. Yesterday, Wycombe 3, Leyton Orient 10 minutes extra time, I might add, at the end of that. We didn't need that, and nor did the players. I get this wasting time stuff, but I think maybe we need to make the games 80 minutes, because after you've been there that length of time, or you've been on the pitch for that length of time, it starts to get a bit of an effort. Okay, let's have a look at this then. The lineup. Well, our goalkeeper. Wycombe always find the best goalkeepers. And, do you know, on here, uh, they've only given him a 6.6. I don't think either of their goals were his fault, but I do think he kept quite a few out. Actually, there was one brilliant save he made in the second half. Grimmer, I thought he had an okay game. Let's try this. This is Vocation. Vocation, Tesco's. Love and Hate. It's a 7.2. And I do have another can in the fridge for when this one's finished. Oh, I hope you've bought one because you're going to like that. Oh, right. I'm off. That's gorgeous. That is really good. That is good, guys. That is good. Get out there. Tafazoli, he went off after 60 minutes. Is that another injury, do you think? He was good. I thought he played well, and that can only be why I'm presume he was injured. Low at the back there. He hasn't started a game so far. He played well, and he did score the two goals. I mean, they weren't cracking, blah blah blah. But as I've said before, it don't matter how they go in. We just got to score them. Vincent Young. Now, they've given him a really high score on here of 7.4. Not quite sure about that. I haven't made my mind up about him yet. He's good up front. He's a wing back, good up front. But he seems to me to make a few clangers at the back. I don't know, is the honest truth. I haven't made my mind up about him yet. I'm not convinced, but he might come good, we hope. Phillips. Well, Phillips only played the first half. First time I think he has played. Wasn't overly impressed. He's only played one half, so fair enough. Scowen, I couldn't quite get Scowen's position. He didn't seem to me to be playing the holding back at the midfield. Seemed to be a bit further up the pitch than we're used to. Leahy, well, is that how you pronounce it? I haven't got Kieran here. I thought he was brilliant. I have to say, I thought he was brilliant. The number 10, I thought he was our player. I thought he was the best player on the pitch. Boys, yeah, I've seen him do a bit more in the friendly against Cardiff, but again, I thought he was okay. Taylor, I thought was although he scored one, I thought he was unlucky not to score one or two others. Luck, well, is it luck? I don't know, but he's got a goal now, and I can see him scoring a few for us. A reasonable, decent sort of striker, one of two. Vokes, oh, for goodness sake, when are we going to get rid of him? I'm sorry, but, trudging around the pitch carrying that weight, no. Now, they had a player sent off after, I think it was 55 minutes. Up to that point, you can definitely say Leyton Orient were passing it around the football pitch. Wycombe, when they did get the ball, which was fairly irregularly, would belt it over the top of the midfield and on for our strikers to run at. Rarely did they make contact. And it just seemed to be Leyton Orient pushing and pushing and pushing. Wycombe got the ball. Boom. Leyton Orient pushing. Wycombe got the ball. Boom. And that seemed to be the way the game was going. Wycombe then got a goal by boom over and boom that way, scored a goal. and it did seem to be a bit like that. And then after 55 minutes, uh, one of their players, Hap Hape, the number 5, I think he was the tall centre back. He was their biggest, tallest centre back. He was the one they relied on in the box for corners, for scoring corners, maybe, but certainly defending them. And then, or defending crosses. And then I wouldn't say it opened up to Wycombe, because it didn't. It almost felt like it was a little bit more of a fairer match between 11 and 10. It shouldn't have been. They still held the ball really well. But Wycombe got 2 goals, and then they went running up the other end and scored another one, and we were holding on. That is really good. That is one of the best. I have to say, it's called Vocation Love and Hay. It's a New England IPA, and it's 7.2. I've had a few of this make, Vocation, and there was one last night, and that was an 8%. I can't remember what it was called, probably because it was an 8%. But I will advertise that one at some point as well, or have a go at trying it. So that was the game, really, and so you came out thinking it was all Leyton Orient, and boom, up for Wigan. But we scored 3 goals, and in the end, their goalkeeper was definitely a weak point. Ours is a strength, and I wonder how many goals he's going to keep out, and how much we're going to rely on our goalkeeper. Our back lineup, our team look a pretty good individual team. They haven't moulded yet. I live in hope that they do. They're a young team, apart from 1 or 2, and that's good, because if we can hang on and survive this season, and I think it will. I think we're going to be bottom half of the season, hoping not to end up getting relegated. I think it will be that, but I am happy, I think, with this team. I think, not sure on the tactics. That was my problem. I think the tactics were awful, and Scowen was obviously not playing in the place where he needed to play. But Wycombe, we're gonna. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Oh, anyway, on Wycombe's tactics, I wanted to look at this question of the duel or not to duel. Does winning your battles win you more games? Well, I'm going to just I can read you all this stuff and blah, 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 but I'm not going to. I'm going to give you basically, did the team win who won more duels? Because let me read you something, okay, which I thought was a bit interesting. On Saturday, Wycombe lost 3-0, okay? And you go down the statistics to see how well they got on, okay? Well, Wycombe had 47%, and remember, we lost 3-0, and Lincoln had 53. That's the norm. We're used to that. We're used to the expected goals difference, although Wycombe's was a lot higher than Leyton Orient's, I might add, last night. They had more shots, they had more big chances, they had more accurate passing, we fouled more often, we were offside more often. And you go down this and you're thinking, yeah, we deserve to lose this. And then we come to who won based on winning your duels. Okay, the defence, we won more tackles and lost 3-0. We made more interceptions but lost 3-0. We blocked more shots and we lost 3-0. We made more clearances and we lost 3-0. Our keeper made more saves and we lost 3-0. We won duels more and lost 3-0. Ground duels was equal. Aerial duels, we won twice as many and we had far more successful dribbles. And yet we lost 3-0. That would suggest that winning your battles doesn't always mean you win the game. So what did it mean? Well, you have to be a bit careful with this. I'm going to give you the last 2 seasons out of the Premier League and Championship. And on average, the team that won the most duels overall won 5% more of their games. And that is all. They did win more, but in the Premiership, it was a bit more. And then in the Championship, it was less. And it seemed to be, I guess, because the ball's bouncing around the pitch with a little less skill, which means when it comes down to Division 1, I think you can get that. It doesn't matter how many jumps in the air you make and win the ball, because I looked at that Lincoln game and I looked at their 3 goals, and there were clearly 3 times Wycombe didn't go near their player and they scored a goal. And they were the 3 battles that we needed to have won, but we didn't make them. Which battles do you want to win? Simple as that. It's easy to fight and battle here and battle there. And I often wonder, it's where you have your fights and your battles. And I spotted last night's game and I thought we weren't good at battling around the box or in the box. And I wonder whether that's where we got to up it. We fought quite a few battles on the side of the pitch, I felt, but not where it mattered. And I wonder whether that was why we lost 3-0. And I'm going to leave that there. Maybe you would like to have your opinion on that, on the beer. Did you go out and buy it? But can I just say, there's a picture of it on the front, and there's a picture of this one, Rebellion 24 Carat. Try it. It's a terrific beer, I'm sure. It's very hoppy. It's a malted barley that gives it this real tropical aroma. It's a sort of bittersweet, and it's 5%, and it is only comes in bottles, I might add. So Rebellion, the Marlow Brewery, we'll try that next match that I'm talking on. And that, I'm afraid I don't think I'm going to be there on Saturday. August is a dreadful, dreadful time for football. I'm hoping to get to the Bristol Rovers away match. And so it will be after that game, probably the day after. There's a couple of little other points I've just got to make before I sign off. One is Kieran Works now. Not always around, but he will join me when he can. The second is, I could go into this about Greenwood, but I'm not sure I will. But it looks like he's going to be coming back to play for Manchester United. And that decision was made way back to, well, that decision was made by the guy 2 weeks ago. And the manager is backing that decision. Ten Hag is more than happy with that, and they haven't released that yet. But if that is the case, I think very sad for football, actually. How low can these teams go would be my comment. And the other one is Reading have gone below us now. They've had a point deducted. Today, in fact, they've had a point deducted. So Reading are now on 2 points. They may have another 2 points deducted, depending on whether they make payments on time, and if they don't, they'll get another 2 points, etc. But at the moment, today, as of today, Reading go below us in the charts. So, thank you very much. Remember to get your Rebellion 24 carat bottle. Remember to try some of this Vocation. I hope some of you did and really enjoyed it. And I'll be saying goodbye. Goodbye.